of us, constantly keep on worrying about things which we should not worry because वो बहुत ज़्यादा important नहीं है, right? But in spite of it, we just keep on thinking and worrying about it. In fact, हम इतना ज़्यादा सोच लेते हैं कि we just start developing some sort of fear, right? And again, these are very small little things, For example, if you are a mother, you may keep on worrying about your kid who has gone to school, or probably if you are husband, you may keep on worrying about your daily schedule, or, will you be able to handle your family responsibility, the finances and everything. So these are very small things which happens in our daily routine. Normally बहुत ज़्यादा इसके बारे में सोचने की ज़रूरत होती नहीं है, but a lot of times we keep on worrying about these things so much. In fact, we tend to develop some sort of fear also. Right? So these things, if we keep on worrying for a longer period of time, probably around 6 months or so, may lead us to general anxiety disorder, that is GAD. So yes, hi, I'm Dr. Anju Shukla. I'm a behavioral analyst, I'm a life coach, I'm an NLP coach and a practitioner. As I said, general anxiety disorder are the constant worry and fear which we may carry with ourselves for weeks and months together, right? And again, these are not major things which normal people don't worry about, but we tend to take it so seriously that it just keeps on going in our head. And over the period of time, we may also feel that this is the way we are. If somebody questions ki, why you're constantly worrying about these things which don't matter so much, we may say that, this is the way I am, this is the way I take things. So you just disregard this, symptom of yours. So, and again, when you are so much worrying about all these things, even if you want to control that, you should not take things so much to your heart and should not accumulate so much fear in your mind, you are not able to do, right? So things just go out of your control even if you don't want to think about it, but you cannot resist yourself from thinking about all those things. So it's the constant worrying and fear which you are not able to control over a period of time, and it has started affecting your mental and physical well-being. Also, it has started affecting, your daily routine or well-being in general per se. So all these things accumulate and is known as GAD. If you ask how this, general anxiety disorder creeps in our life, right, there is no specific answer to it. But yes, there are few clues, with the help of which we can always say that, these can be the sources of general anxiety disorder. Something like, if you are not able to handle your stressors, right, and you are not able to cope with your internal stressors, and in the long run, these stressors may take the form of anxiety. Also, it may happen that a lot of people believe that this runs in the family. So if grandparents or parents have this these symptoms of anxiety, so there is a chance of the child having the same. But again, it's not sure that one child may have it, second child may not have it. Apart from this, general medication also, continuous medication or the side effects of medication has been found to give these results. Also, a lot of times during childhood, some traumatic incidents would have had a place in the mind which later on reflects in the form of anxieties and fears. Also, it may happen that the person has been in a very stressful environment, brought up in a stressful environment, which leads to the anxiety. A few type of medical conditions like hyperthyroidism, which relates to imbalances of hormones in a person, can also be one of the causes of anxiety. Also, child abuse or probably chronic illness of a person may lead to anxieties later on, and some diseases may also trigger a few types of anxieties. So specifically no one incident or no one source of anxiety is discovered as such, but yes, there can be many sources which can ultimately result in an anxiety, in fact the general anxiety disorder. In fact, if you remember, I talked about saying that 4% of the world population is affected by anxiety, and the information here is that amongst these 4%, 3% are infected by general anxiety disorder. And again, as initially I said, females are more affected by anxiety in general, and as far as general anxiety disorder is concerned, again females are more prone to it. So there can be many reasons why females are more prone to anxiety, because of the environment in which they operate, because of the insecurities which they may carry, because of a lot of stress they take and which they are not able to handle. So everything can accumulate and bring down to the fact that females tend to have more anxiety disorders in comparison to male. In fact, there are various symptoms of anxiety, psychologically. If we want to say, apart from the psychological symptoms, there are few physical symptoms which can be, listed as the byproduct of anxiety. Something like, restlessness, feeling on edge or irritable, being easily fatigued, shortness of breath, heart palpitations, difficulty concentrating, muscle tension, difficulty in sleeping or staying asleep, headaches, muscle aches, stomach aches, or unexpected pains. So all these symptoms can be related to the physical damage with this constant, with this general anxiety disorder does to a person. So it's not that only the adults suffer from anxiety disorder, in fact GAD, but you'll be surprised to know that children of around 14 years, 8 years of age also suffer from GAD. In fact, it becomes a little difficult at their age, to detect it. But yes, children do tend to have anxiety. And the popular reasons of, a child developing anxiety are related to performance at school, as far as academics is concerned, or probably sport events are concerned. In fact, the family members' safety, a lot of times the kids don't express, even they have got some fear related to their family's well-being. Also, being on time or punctuality, this also creates a lot of worry in a child, and this worry, if it is constant, leads to anxiety, as I said, right? Something like earthquake, nuclear war, or other catastrophic events can also create some type of tension in children. So children also tend to suffer from anxiety as adults, right? But the fact is that as adults we need to recognize this at a very early stage, because if it is recognized and handled and taken care of, probably the things can be better off later on. Otherwise this may lead to something which is very chronic. As we have talked about the fact that everything can be treated, and like any other anxiety, this general anxiety disorder can also be treated, right? But the few facts which we always need to keep in mind, as I earlier said, is first of all, you need to recognize that yes, there is a problem, right? Once you accept that there is a problem, only then we can go ahead and find a solution to it, right? And as far as GAD is concerned, there are few solutions which are quite popular, and they literally work if the steps are taken on time and with the help of the patient, right, and the family involved. So the very first is something like psychotherapy, right? In this psychotherapy basically deals with talking to the patient, right? Talking literally tries to find out the solution, and tries to find out the solution sitting with the patient. So the counselor sits with the patient and talks about the issues which is happening, the behavior, the problems which the person is having. So sitting down and talking in the form of psychotherapy, obviously by a trained counselor or psychologist only, right, can help to resolve and take care of GAD. Also, GAD can be treated with the help of CBT, that is cognitive behavioral therapy. So, in this therapy, what happens is the health professional understands how the thoughts and excessive worrying is affecting the action of the person and makes the person also understand the same. So, through CBT, one can unlearn negative or worrying thoughts and behaviors and learn to adopt towards healthy thinking patterns and habits. So once the person has learned to think in a positive manner, all the negative thoughts can be eliminated and replaced by positive thoughts, and this needs to be made a habit so that later on as the life progresses, this is there embedded in the head. So only positive thoughts remains, which eliminates the negative thought as a whole. And the last is when all these things don't work, so one has to go for medication. And as far as medication is concerned, the very first is antidepressant and second is anti-anxiety medication, which the patient can go for because, and again, this happens when all the other things have not worked, or probably medication can continue along with the CBT and psychotherapy. So we tend to understand that general anxiety disorder is one of the most common anxiety disorders which is prevailing in the world population. As I said, 3% out of the all 4% people who are affected by anxieties come under this GAD category, right? And we have also discussed that GAD is something which can happen to a child, to an adult, right? Males and females both, right? And the most important thing is that it can be treated for sure, but yes, as I said, timely intervention is very important. Timely interventions along with the acceptance that yes, there is a problem and the solutions can be found out, right? So this was regarding general anxiety disorder. In my next coming videos, I'm going to take up the other types of anxieties as well. So thank you so much for watching. God bless.